Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chelsea Jones with Illinois WorkNet. Thank you for joining us today for our Partner Technical Assistance webinar. As you probably already know, we have this webinar every first Wednesday of the month, and we try to keep it short at 30 minutes. So I'm going to try and cover all the items that's requested via the polling question on requests for demos or questions. We might not get to everything, but I'll start with the items that have the most requests and then work my way from there. If you have any specific questions, if you maybe marked one of the items in the poll, but you have a very specific question about it, go ahead and put that in the chat pod, because then that'll help us focus in specifically on what you're interested in. Because normally when we do a demo about, one of the items in the polling question, it's very general. So if you have a specific question, like I see Gregory already added one in the poll that we'll cover, just go ahead and type that in there and we'll make sure we address your specific questions. And if not, we'll keep it a very general demo of the item. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and make the poll a little smaller, but it's still accessible, and get my screen share going. Okay. First off, before I get started, can you raise your hand using the little guy at the top of the screen, or type in the chat pod just to let me know that you can see my screen? You should be seeing the Illinois WorkNet homepage. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. So one item I just want to cover real quick. No one voted for it in the demo, but I just want to point out the new menu. This is what we covered during last month's webinar. So if you haven't had time to look at it, please make sure you're aware that the menu has changed and it functions differently, but it still has all the same information. So from that, I'm going to move on to the first item that was requested for a demo, and that is the Employment 101. It looks like 5 people asked that we cover that. So from the Illinois WorkNet menu under Explore Careers, we have a page for Employment 101. Now this is just an informational overview page about what the Employment 101 tool is and its purpose. And so if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that it identifies that the Employment 101 guide includes a pre- and post-assessment on Illinois WorkNet, as well as a certificate of completion. But the Employment 101 part of it is the actual career, job search, and goals planning tool. So this was first created for the Summer Youth Employment Program, I think 2 years ago, and we're repurposing it for the use on Illinois WorkNet. So depending on your customer, their experience, it might be too entry level for them. So it's very ideal for students and entry level workers. But if you have more experienced workers who are still interested in using it, by all means, please point them in the direction of this. So the page from the menu is just informational, like I just stated. So I don't want to linger too long in here. I want to go to the actual tool so you can see how it works. But you can always come to this page for the informational overview. And to access the Employment 101 guide, you do have to be logged into your account. I'm already logged in, and you can tell that by the My Dashboard menu here at the top of the screen. So it says My Dashboard, Messages, Bookmarks, Resumes, and Skills and Interests. So that's an easy way to know that you're logged in. This bar will not show up if you're not logged into the site. I also see my username at the top right, so that's another identifier that I'm logged in. So if you click on My Dashboard, you'll see that you have all of the options accessible from the page you're on as if you went to your dashboard after logging in. So this is just giving you back one click, so you don't have to actually go to My Dashboard unless you want to. You can click this drop down and have all of the options you need. Now, if you're an Illinois WorkNet Workforce and Education partner and you participate in any special programs like DEI or EPIC, you'll see if you have access to those tools, they'll show up here as well, so that's an easy way to access them. Since we're covering Employment 101, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then it's going to take us directly to the Employment 101 Guide overview, where you'll be able to go to either the pre-assessment, Employment 101, the post-assessment, or to download your certificate of completion. So this is kind of, a step guide, step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. So if you have customers you're working with, they should start from the left and work their way over. The pre-assessment and the post-assessment are the same questions, only the pre-assessment is not graded. So you can have your customers take this as many times as they need to. And the idea of the Employment 101 guide is that it will help them pass the post-assessment guide. So if they have any problems in the pre-assessment, the Employment 101 guide is going to cover items that were in this assessment. So when they move on to take the post-assessment, they should be better prepared and be able to pass with the 70% that is required to pass the post-assessment. And then once they do pass the post-assessment with a 70% or higher, you'll see they have the option to download their certificate of completion. And I have not yet taken the post-assessment, and that's why I don't have the option to download my certificate. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Employment 101 guide. And from here, we're going to be able to see the actual items within the Employment 101 guide itself. So this is separate from the post or pre-assessment, but they're all part of the same process. So the Employment 101 guide includes a career plan, a job search plan, and a plan to help your customers achieve their goals. Within each one of these areas, you'll see that there's items within them. So for Prepare a Career Plan, they will explore careers, explore training, and explore getting qualified. And you can see that all three of mine are green and have a little check mark on it. And it says I've completed 3 of the 3 items. So as your customer goes through the Employment 101 plan and starts completing these items, they're going to see these marked as completed as they go through it. And then at the top where it says My Overall Progress, there's also a bar here indicating how far you've gone. So I now need to prepare a job search plan, and that includes Get Prepared and Find Jobs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one, and you can see my page changed now. I'm in Prepare a Job Search Plan, and then it has recommended steps on the left, and on the right it has an area that's going to change depending on what I've clicked on. So under this step, there's step 1, Get Organized, Prepare Your Resume, Prepare Your Portfolio, and Prepare a Plan. So if I click on the first one, it's going to go ahead and open up, and within that are the items that they can use on Illinois workNet to help them complete that step. So each one of these is going to have something different in it. And you'll see as I change each one, the area on the right where they can enter and save information is changing as well. So before, it allowed me to identify which documents I've collected for my job search. So I have my work history, my licenses, maybe I have military skills, maybe I have job skills. Then I'm going to click Save Changes. So as they go through each step, this area is going to change because this area is what they're saving in their plan. I'm not going to go through each step because, like I mentioned, we are limited to 30 minutes today, and if anyone has time after 30 minutes, if we go that long, obviously we can keep going. But as they go through each step, you'll see they'll start saving information. The fourth one is a Smart Plan, and they actually enter information and save it. And as they go through, when they save these, they can view their plans. So they don't have to complete all of the steps to view what they've entered into the system so far. They can view their plans at any time, and they can also print them as needed. So if you're working with customers and you're requiring them to do this work, that they can come in and print this or send it to you so you can see what they've done. So you can see so far I've entered a job and a training. Now there's not a lot of information because I've not gone too in-depth, but each one of these items is going to have information that I've entered so far. And so that's Employment 101. This is helping your customer go through the job search process from preparing a career plan, preparing a job search plan, and then identifying goals that they want to achieve and how they can achieve them. And then once they complete that, they can go and take the post-assessment and then download that certificate of completion. And then the certificate of completion can then be used in their resume or their portfolio, or they can bring it to you in your office. However it is they want to use it, they can use it. So that's Employment 101. Please, if anyone has any additional questions, go ahead and type them in the chat pod. I'm going to move on to the next item, and we have quite a few items that had the same amount of votes. I'm going to start from the top, and the first one is the CIS Skills and Interest Surveys. So again, anytime we have a tool on Illinois WorkNet, we're going to have an informational page in the menu that tells people how they can use it. And then if it's something that requires them to log into their account, it's going to be accessible from My Dashboard. So from My Dashboard, we do have a link directly to the Skills and Interest Surveys. But we also have a page in the menu called Skills and Interest Surveys for people who don't know what they are and are curious about what they do and how they can use them. So there's 4 skill and interest surveys: the Interest Profiler, Skills Profiler, Work Importance Locator, and Career Cluster Inventory. And then with each one, it tells you an estimated time it might take you or a student to complete them. And then it also tells them how they can use them, who should use them, as well as how they can get started. And for those of you who didn't know this, the Skill and Interest Surveys is provided through Career Information Systems, which is CIS. They are the ones who, excuse me, maintain and provide that information, and then Illinois WorkNet works with them to provide seamless access to you and your customers. So instead of your customers having to have a login to Illinois WorkNet and a login to the CIS website, they can log in directly to Illinois WorkNet and access it from here without having too many logins. So from My Dashboard, again, anytime we're going to ask you to save information, we're going to ask you to log in. So for the Skill and Interest Surveys, your customers are going to be saving information, which means they're going to need to log in. So once they log in, they can click on My Dashboard. If they click on Interest, it's going to take them to the Skill and Interest Inventory options. So like I already identified, there's 4 different options they can choose from. And this page also provides the overview that we just saw on the previous page. It tells them what this activity or survey is, what the results are that are provided, and how long it will take them. So if your student is interested in the Interest Profiler, they would click that, and it's seamlessly going to take them directly there to the CIS website from our website without an additional login. So you can see it already shows me logged in as Chelsea. I can go ahead and get started with the Interest Profiler, and then I would just go through and complete it. And that's how all 4 of these work. Each one of these is going to go directly to CIS without requiring an additional login, and your students or customers can come in and complete this at the time that they have. It's not something that requires them to come and meet with you. It's a self-accessed assessment. So that's the Skill and Interest Surveys provided by CIS. Another item we get from CIS, the Career Information Systems, is the Careers, Wages, and Trends, and that was another item that was a request to be demoed. So under Explore Careers, the next item is Career, Wages, and Trends. And this provides the user with all 16 of the career pathways in Illinois and allows the customer to go through and get information specific to a career they may be interested in. So if you have a customer who's interested in a specific career field, maybe they want to go into finance or health science and they're not sure of the specific career, they can just click on that industry or career pathway, and they're going to get all of the careers that the system has identified for that area. And you'll notice some of them have this little green icon to the left of them, and that is identifying an in-demand career. And for those of you who work with the WIOA funds, you know that in-demand careers that's where we get that information for what is in demand and what's not in Illinois. So maybe your student's interested in becoming an animal doctor, so they can click on that, and they're going to start at an overview of that job and at a glance have some quick facts, ways to prepare, working conditions, wages, etc. And then they can go more in depth with the secondary menu here. So they can get the employment and outlook and wages and trends, what skills, knowledge, and interests they might need, look for training programs for that specific career, as well as the physical and working conditions and being able to actually search for a job in that area. And so this information is provided for every single career in the system. And this, again, is coming from the CIS system. And they also have the ability to bookmark it. So maybe if you want to ask your customer to go in the computer lab or at home and find some careers and bookmark them so you can review them with them later, they can bookmark as many as they want and easily access them from the My Dashboard menu once they log in. So maybe I'm done looking at animal doctors and I want to look at something else. I'm going to go back to career clusters because I want to show you that they also have the ability to search for an actual specific job. So maybe your customer already knows what they want to do. They can start typing, and it's going to pull up any jobs in the system with the word I started typing. So I typed in certified, and you can see there's certified medical assistant, nursing assistant, etc. And they can click on that and click search, and then it's going to take them directly to that job, and they can click on that and get the same information. So it's just two different ways to search, whether you know what you want to do or you're not sure and you want to look at all the careers in a specific industry. So that is careers, wages, and trends. The next item I'm going to cover very quickly is the Job Prep app. So if you're not familiar with it, Illinois WorkNet does have a mobile app. Under our updates and help menu, we have a page called Job Prep Mobile App. Again, this is just an overview page because the Job Prep is a mobile app that you have to download on your phone or tablet or iPad, whatever you're using. And it is a condensed version of the Illinois WorkNet website. I think that's the best way to describe what the Job Prep app is and what it does. It allows you or your customers to search for training programs or search for jobs or a service locator near them. So we do have a flyer if you're interested, and it gives you a very quick overview about what the app does. And it also provides the scan code for you to be able to download it on Amazon, Google Play, or iTunes. And of course, since it's an Illinois WorkNet item, it's completely free. There's no cost to download the app because everything Illinois WorkNet provides is free to our users. So you can go to your phone right now, open your app store, and type Job Prep, all one word, JOBPREP, and you're going to be able to download it to your phone and use it on the go. And so your customers can do the same. Maybe they have an interview today and they're on the bus on the way and they want to, look at some interview questions that they might be able to ask their employer, the employer. So they can open the app, go to articles, choose interviewing, and they're going to be able to read an article specific on interviewing to help prepare them. So that's the idea of the Job Prep app, is to give you access to the site on the go. And Cindy asked if it's available to be printed and posted in the office. Of course. We do have two flyers, one targeted for the adult audience and one targeted for youth. So depending on what you want to print and post in your office, you have the option to print both of them. I'm going to go ahead and stick this link in right here, and you can download whichever one you prefer and print it. And so that, again, was very quick. Like I mentioned, the Job Prep app is just the Illinois WorkNet website on your mobile phone, and so you can download it whenever you have time. We definitely recommend it. So I'm going to move on to the next item, which is the training provider searches. So under Illinois WorkNet's menu, under training and credentials, the first two items send you to a training program search. The first one, as the title indicates, is WIOA approved training programs. I'll click on that one first. This search is going to provide your customers with the ability to find training programs or specific training providers in Illinois that are WIOA funded or WIOA approved. So if you're working with customers who can receive WIOA funding and they need to find a program, this is the training search you want to send them to. So it defaults to training programs specifically and pulls in all of the programs in the system. So right now there's 4,291 training programs in the state of Illinois that are WIOA funded. Now we get this information from the Illinois Workforce Development System, IWDS. So they have the information, they maintain it, and then we pull it into our website for the customer to be able to use easily. So if you want to search, they can use keywords, they can select by a specific job family, and they can select an LWIA. Most of your customers probably won't know what an LWIA is, so that's completely optional. We provide the city or zip code search, which is something that they would be more familiar with. So if I put in the zip code, I'm currently in 62703. I didn't even have to click search. It just started narrowing my results for me. So there are 21 results within 10 miles of 62703. So you can either click on the program and get the information for that specific program. This is an accounting degree from the Lincoln Land Community College. They also have the ability to bookmark this and access it from their account at any time. And if your user or your customer wants to compare, they have the option to compare up to 3 results side by side. So I can add the accounting degree to my comparison, maybe basic nursing assistant, and this third one, because maybe I don't know what I want to go to a training program for. So now that I've selected 3, at the top, I can click Compare. And then it's going to provide all 3 that I've selected side by side, so I'm going to be able to see the information for each and compare each one. And maybe that'll help me make a decision on the one that would work best for me based on how long it'll take or how much it costs or things like that. So as you scroll down, you see you have all that information right here, as well as the performance data that's in the system for each program. If there is no data provided, that means there's none in the system to display. And they also have the ability to search by, let me go back up, training provider and demand occupation. And you'll see some of the filters are a little different, but it provides the same information. So if I search by 62703, for training providers, there's 9 training providers near me. If I click on one of them, it's going to give me all the programs that they have available. And then I can click on the program from here as well. And that's the WIOA training program search. The second search we have on Illinois WorkNet is all other public and private training programs. So I went to Menu and I clicked Training and Credentials, and it's the second item in the menu. And this is another item we get from the Career Information System, or CIS. And it is all of those other Illinois programs and schools that are not WIOA funded but are still an option for people who need training but don't get WIOA funding. So they have the ability to search by program keyword, school or provider, and their zip code as well. So there are 179 results in 62703 on the non-WIOA funded training program search. So if you click on one, you're going to see a screen very similar to the one we just saw, but the information coming in from CIS is different than IWDS. So it'll be different information, but it's still helpful for the user. The contact information for the school, general information, the student body, the costs, and things like that. And again, they can bookmark this in their account, so they can easily access it at any time from their My Dashboard menu. And then they can go through and look at as many as they want and bookmark as many as they want. And when they come to their bookmarks, they're going to see all the ones that they've added. And we break them down by area as well. So all the articles, jobs, some external bookmarks, occupations, training. So all of these are items that I've bookmarked so far in my account. And if I don't want one anymore, I can just mark it off and say, yep, I don't want that. And then it's gone. So it's easy to maintain your bookmarks right from your My Dashboard menu. So that's the 2 training program searches. Now I saw Greg's question, you want to become an authorized training site. I would probably recommend you email us, Greg. Our email is info@siuccwd.com, just so I can get more information on it, specifically what you're looking for, and then we can point you in the right direction for the contacts for that. So that's the training program search. The next item I'm going to cover is the event calendar. So under the menu, Network and Connect, the first item is the Illinois WorkNet event calendar. So this defaults to providing statewide results for all events that have been entered into our system. So anyone with an Illinois WorkNet account has the ability to add an event. That includes individuals and workforce and education partners. But if you're not an LWIA coordinator, your event has to be approved either by your local area coordinator or Illinois WorkNet staff. So if you have anything going on in your office or at your location, you can come here, click Add Event, submit it, and then we will get it approved and posted for the public to see. There are a couple options with the event calendar. You can see there's a month-day filter, so you can look at the whole month, or you can just go day by day. And we also have filter options because obviously most of the people that come to Illinois WorkNet aren't going to want to see statewide events. They're going to want to see events near them. So if I just start typing in Springfield, you can see options are shown. And I'm going to choose Springfield, Illinois, and I'm going to click Apply. And now it's shown me all events in Springfield specifically. If I'm curious about one, I can click on it, and then I'm going to get the details for that. So this one is an expungement workshop at 1300 South 9th Street. This is the information for it, and it's a workshop for the general public from 9 to 12. So that's how the public will use the menu. They'll filter on their location. They have some additional options to filter on if they want, and then they have the option, to choose between their views, month or day, or month or list. Now, you as a partner probably have events to add here because you want to make sure you want to get people to your events. So if you click Add Events, it's going to take you to the management side, and over in the right corner you're going to see there's a button to click Add Events. So here you're going to enter your title, the type, the audience, grade level, field of interest, and then down here is the date, time, address, and description. You do have the ability to add an online-only event, and that'll hide the date if that's something you have. And you also have the option to add a contact. So if there's someone that they can call or email if they have any questions about the event, you can add that here as well. I'm going to pop back over to Illinois WorkNet, and that's the event calendar. I see someone asked if you still have the ability to become a certified Illinois WorkNet advisor. As of right now, Illinois WorkNet has not moved the Certified Illinois WorkNet Advisor course, or CEWA, as some of you might know it as, to the new Illinois WorkNet website. It is on the list for us to complete and move over, and so we will be providing that to our workforce and education partners again in the future, but we do not currently have a timeline on when that will be available, but we will keep you updated once we get the process moving forward. And just know that we do plan on providing it again, where you would take the CEWA course, which provides you an overview of the Illinois WorkNet website, and then you get a certificate of completion for that as well. So the next item I'm going to review quickly is the NOCD. So if you're not familiar with it, the NOCD 21st Century Skills is an assessment that Illinois WorkNet provides to you as partners to provide to your customers. So if you go down to the bottom of the Illinois WorkNet website to our footer, you'll see this area at the bottom, the tan and black area. That's called our footer, and that's going to be on almost every page on the Illinois WorkNet website. And in the middle, we have a link to the Partner Workforce and Education pathway. So if you click on Partner Resources, it's going to take you directly to that area. And you'll notice you're in the partner area because the color of the menu is now blue instead of orange. So orange indicates you're on the public side, which is for the individual customers, job seekers, employers, laid-off workers in that audience. And then the blue menu indicates the workforce and education area, which has all of the resources and information for you as a workforce and education partner. So again, I'm going to click on the menu. And then under Partner Tools, we have a page specifically for assessments. Because Illinois WorkNet offers multiple assessments for your customers. Some are self-accessed, like the skill and interest surveys that we already reviewed in Employment 101, and some of them are not self-accessed, and it requires a customer to come to you to be able to access. And the NOCD 21st Skills Century Assessment is one of them. So I'm going to scroll down, and you'll see that we have a little informational section for each one of the assessments on our site. So if you're not sure what any of the assessments are that we provide, you can see them here, and I'm going to type that link and provide that in there now. And then on the right hand is resources. So we have customer guides and partner guides for most of the assessments here. So if I scroll down, we're going to get to the NOCD 21st Century Skills. You'll see it says you earn a NOCD certificate and it is partner initiated. And what that means is the customer has to come to you to complete it. They can't take the NOCD at any time on their own. So the purpose of the NOCD is it's non-occupation specific assessment that measures 13 employability areas identified in the National Career Cluster Model. So the NOCD 21st Century Skills Assessment is a national assessment, and Illinois WorkNet covers the cost for you to provide this to your customers because we think it's a really good assessment and it's something that will help your customers get work ready, because the workplace skills are something that every employer is looking for in future employees. So this page provides an overview about what the NOCD 21st Century Skills Assessment is. And then again, from the rest of the page, you can see the other assessments. And then if you are interested in the NOCD, we do have the partner guide as well as the customer guide. And the partner guide is a PDF that covers, what it is and how you can go about ordering it in your workNet center to use it with your customers. So under number 2, it says, number 1 is log into your account and select the NOCTI 21st Century Skills Assessment from your partner tools. So again, let me scroll back up to the top. From the My Dashboard drop-down, you have an option that goes to Partner Tools specifically. If you click on that, you're going to get taken to a page that has all of the Illinois workNet partner tools that are available to you. Some of you, like I mentioned earlier, if you're using a specific program like DEI or EPIC, you'll see that on this page as well. We also link to the customer groups and other items like IWTS. So from here, there's an option for the NOCTI administration. This is where you're going to come to order NOCTI for customers in your office to complete. And this handout here literally goes through the steps, what you'll do. Select the number of test sessions, select the audience, text-to-speech, etc. And this covers step-by-step what you'll need to do to provide these to your customers. So I'll go ahead and put this in the chat as well for whomever is interested in the NOCTI. And then I'm going to move on because it is 2 o'clock. I'm going to keep going and covering the rest of the items that were identified. If you have to leave, thank you very much for attending, but I'm going to just keep going on with the items. The next one is user guides. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top of my page. I'm going to go to the Illinois workNet homepage. You have 2 ways to access the Illinois workNet homepage. You can always click the icon at the top of the page, the Illinois workNet Center icon. That's always going to take you back to the homepage. Or from the menu, there's an option that says Illinois workNet Home, and that'll take you back to the homepage as well. That was one of the items that was discussed during our TA meeting webinar last month. Someone said that they thought that would be really helpful because their customers won't know to click on the logo. So we've gone ahead and added that to the menu for any of the sites you're on. So if you're on WIOA Works, for example, if you click the menu, the first item is going to say WIOA Works Home. So now that I'm home, right here at the top of the page, these are our user guides. Each one of these little people links to a scenario, getting started on workNet or finding the right job, finding employer resources. So each one of these people, and you can see there's a scroll option, there's even more scenarios. They link to user guides that will help someone complete a specific task on Illinois workNet. So for example, maybe I need to find a job. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to the user guides page. And what this has on it are links to materials to help you find a job. Sometimes we're going to link directly to a page, like the Illinois workNet job search page, or we're going to have, we have both. We have user guides. So this one is applying for jobs if I have minimal work experience, and it's in Spanish. This one is applying for jobs with minimal work experience in English. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to this 2-page PDF that goes through every step I need to take in Illinois workNet to achieve that goal. So the goal is to apply for a job. What do I need to do, and what does Illinois workNet have to help me? That's what the top says, the purpose. And then the steps cover, each one of Illinois workNet's areas that will help your customer achieve that goal. And then the second page on this one is an infographic. And then if they're looking at it online, they'll be able to link directly to the pages we're identifying. Now, we have gotten some feedback from users who don't like that we bring them to the user guides page here when they click on a person here. They would prefer that we take them directly to a page on Illinois workNet. And the only reason we bring you to the user guides page is because sometimes there's more than one tool on Illinois workNet to help you complete a task. Because applying for a job, that takes more than one thing to help you do that. You're interviewing and your resume and things like that. So we want to give you more than one option to find tools to help you do what you want to do on Illinois workNet. So that's why we have the user guide area. We're linking you to web pages in our site, as well as these PDFs, which are downloadable and printable, that you can use anytime you need to. That literally goes step by step on what you can use in Illinois workNet to either complete a task or access something. So that's the purpose of this area. So that's the user guides, and it's always accessible from the home page. Once you come here, this bar with the little people in the scenarios is going to be here all the time, and you can click on it and access any information that you need. So I clicked on another one just to show you. for laid off workers, we have 10 resources. So you can see it's different for every item you select. So the next item I'm going to cover, let me review the poll question here and see what I've missed so far. The optimal resume. So Illinois WorkNet, if you're not familiar with it, we do provide a resume builder for free to anyone with an Illinois WorkNet account. So again, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to have an informational page in our menu. So under Qualify for Jobs, prepare your resume. Now this page is going to tell your customers, what's a resume? How do I format a resume? What's in a resume? What do I put in there? You know, some customers might not know that information. We can't assume that everyone knows what a resume is or how to create one. So that's why this page is here, is to give them that general overview that they need to get started on knowing what a resume is and the information that they're going to need for it. In addition, we have a helpful video that covers our resume builder. Sometimes people prefer to watch something rather than read something, so that's what this video is for. And then we have quite a few documents that cover how to use the resume builder. So you'll see that this says resume builder, resume help, resume builder video resume, resume builder cover letter help, resume builder interview help. So the Illinois WorkNet resume builder covers a facet of areas. Not only can your customers create resumes, but they can also create cover letters. They can also practice interviewing by using video. They can create a video resume or an online website or a portfolio. It covers all of those areas to help someone apply for a job. So that's what these documents are. They're PDFs that help you use the resume builder. You can click on them, you can read them or save them or print them. So to access the resume builder, again, the My Dashboard menu, and then there's an option for resumes. That's going to redirect your customer right to the Optimal Resume website. Now, if your customer is new to Illinois WorkNet and they've never accessed before, they will get to a page that asks them to ensure the information is correct in their account, and that's going to provide their first name, last name, and anything else that's in their account, because Optimal Resume uses that to help fill in some information for their resume. But since I'm obviously not a new person using Illinois WorkNet, I didn't get that screen. I went directly into the Document Center where your customer has the option to choose any of these items they want to do. You can see I have 4 different resumes, a cover letter, a portfolio. I've taken an assessment. I haven't done any practice interviewing or video resumes, and I have a test website. And the website is a lot like LinkedIn. So if you're familiar with LinkedIn, that's what this is like, a website that someone could email a link to someone else if they're interested in applying for a job. Now, in regards to resumes, if your customer uploads a resume, they do not have the ability to edit it. So if your customer wants to be able to change a resume, they're going to either need to create a new one. But it's not as daunting as it sounds, because the resume builder provides a lot of options for formatting. I'm just going to put in another test real quick. You can see you can browse sample resumes, browse section sets, and start from scratch. So if you want, you can completely start from scratch, blank page, blank canvas. But there are a lot of samples that you can use that will help you get started. So if I am in computer and mathematical industry, I'm entry level, there are 8 samples that I can use to get started. I can click on one. It's going to give me an overview of what it looks like. If I don't like it, I can exit out. Maybe this one's more what I need. Okay, I'm going to use this sample. And then it pulls in. You can see it changed it to my name, my address, and then all of this information is what your customer can come in and edit. So maybe I don't have any of these certifications, so I'm going to delete it. And then I'm just going to type in a new certification. And then I'm going to click Save. So every area is editable, even though we started with a resume sample. And then they would go through and complete it, and then they'll save it, and then they can download it to a PDF or a Word document, or they can share it. So you have the Microsoft PDF, HTML, or plain text are your download options. And then you can also share it. You have a link here if you want to email it to someone. So that's the Optimal Resume Builder. Like I said, completely free to anyone who has an account. We have all of these helpful guides on how to use each area, and then it's accessed via My Dashboard once you log in. Okay, the next area is the Services Locator Administration. So the Services Locator, located in the menu, Network and Connect. The second item is the Illinois WorkNet Service Finder. The Service Finder is what users of our website will go to if they need to visit a center in person. So if you go to the page, it's completely blank, and you would search your city or zip code or county or LWIA, and you click search. And you can see it brought back 16 locations within a 10-mile radius of Springfield. The first one is always going to be the Illinois WorkNet Center in that local area, and then all of the other Illinois WorkNet partners are listed below it. If you're listed as an Illinois WorkNet partner already, and you are a contact or local area coordinator, you can click Add or Edit Locations. Now, if you are not an Illinois WorkNet partner but you're interested, you would also come here and click Add or Edit Locations. When I click this, I'm going to get all of the locations in Illinois WorkNet already because I am a WorkNet staff. But if you are the contact maybe for just one location that's in the system, you'll see that one location here with the option to edit. Or if you're a local area coordinator, you're going to see all of the partners in your area or your local area. So for example, if you're the LWIA 7 coordinator, you're going to see all the LWIA 7 sites in Illinois WorkNet. And all of them are going to give you the option to edit it. Or, like I mentioned before, you have the option to add a new site. So if you're interested in becoming an Illinois WorkNet partner, you can always click Add a New Site. Or if you just need to manage your site information, you can do that here as well. So I'm not going to go any deeper than that. If you have a specific question, you can type that in the chat pod and we can cover that. And then the last item I want to cover is in the partner area as well. Again, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to click on Partner Resources. And I just wanted to make sure that all of you are aware of the partner resources that are here. As a workforce and education partner, we want to make sure you have all the tools and information you need to work with your customers that we can provide you. So from the menu, we have a couple different areas. There's Partner Tools, which I was on earlier, that has information about the assessments, the event calendar, how to use customer groups. So if you're unfamiliar with customer groups, we have a page that covers what are they and how do I use them as a partner. You can come here, it tells you how to access it, what are the benefits, and then the invitation process if you need to add people to your group. There's also a page for the Service Finder, what I was just referencing. We have a page specific to that, and I'll put that in here. And then we also have just a couple other items like the submitting resources or success stories, and then some programs that are older than 2014 if you need any information about that. We also have an area called Setup and Training, and this is for if you want to set up any WorkNet centers or partners. This just has information for that. So advertising local services and events, watching archived webinars, so that's the training part. Every webinar that we provide to you is going to be recorded and put on this page. And then there's just some other information that you can use in your local center or office. And one of those pages I wanted to touch on is our marketing page. If you're looking for any marketing materials that Illinois WorkNet has that you can use, we have our logo here that you can download, as well as the logos used in our menu. And then we also have like flyers and handouts. So we have materials to advertise services to individuals or job seekers, which includes flyers. Some of them are in Spanish. And then if you go down, you'll see we have some for employers, persons with disabilities, laid-off workers, veterans, and youth. So this page has all of these that you can download. If it's a PDF, that means it's already completed and you cannot edit this one specifically. But if it's a Word document, you can see this one's a template. So this is literally just a blank canvas for you to use, but we provide some of the visuals for you, like the logos or graphics on it. So you can see this has a header and some other elements to it. So but it's completely blank for you to be able to use at your own need. And so you can download any of these you would like. So I'm going to put that link in here as well. And then there's just some other items in here that if you're interested, you could check them out. And we also have an area called Helping Individuals and Helping Employers. These are very similar to our user guides, and they cover specific information on Illinois WorkNet on how you can maybe help an employer with an outreach and marketing or labor market information. So these are specific to that topic and the resources on Illinois WorkNet that will help you achieve that. So for labor market information, it's just an overview of what it is, key components, materials, and things like that. And each page is like this, an overview and links to WorkNet materials. Then we also have news and events and our download and print, which is any downloadable material we've entered into the system, as well as resources that we find you might feel are helpful to you. And most of these are external resources outside of Illinois WorkNet. You can see there's 1,141, and they cover a variety of topics, so you can always search by keyword if you're looking for something specific. And that was all that was requested to be covered today. If you have any other questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat pod if there's something that you want to see that we didn't cover or you have a specific question, go ahead and type that in. Other than that, we will meet again next month, the first Wednesday of October. And thank you for attending. And I will retype our email address in here just in case you didn't get it before. So thank you everyone for coming and have a great day.